Welcome back for another video. It's Eharbad. We're back in Raid Shadow Legends. We've actually got the older free gear removal, so it's quite a big weekend in terms of improving and fixing builds. I have finally geared up Nice and Carnage. I've been pleasantly surprised with Nice. Maybe not surprised, but I've been reasonably happy with his performance. I do think I need a blessing. The stats are just worth so much. I've kind of leaned heavily into HP overalls. That's a base form. And then alternate form, I've got them like this. I think I actually need to boost up the resistance a bit. Carnage, I originally put in this build here. And on form 2, you can see we've got a decent amount of attack. Quite low on crit damage, not super high on accuracy. It's not the build I'm going to end up keeping. I did want to make sure that I had 4-piece stone skin, so I've got 4-piece stone skin plus lethal. But again, the lack of a blessing really hurts. Like, the stats are so big, particularly when you want to spread across, high attack, decent speed, high crit damage, and high accuracy. And in place of Nice, I think is kind of similar: high HP, bit of attack, decent speed, crit damage, and then I think I actually want decent resistance. It's very important that he doesn't get crowd controlled in form 2. And again, to do that, I need more stats. So the reason I haven't uploaded for a while, including last weekend, basically, I've been ill. If we consider the events that have happened, I did do the Deck of Fate. I did do the summoning last weekend. I could go through. I did actually I just did recordings of them, but without me even speaking, and I could potentially weave those into another video, but I don't think it's not that interesting. In terms of what I did for the Deck of Fate, I actually summoned 7 Eternal Soulstones, so I bought 6 of them through coins, so taking a bit of a hit there. But in Deck of Fate itself, I did actually pull triple triple epic rarity. Got one of those special chests and actually got 1 Eternal Soulstone back. What did I get of interest? Mostly it was trash. The only good thing I actually pulled was a 5-star ninja soul. That's one good soul there. And obviously people have been doing loads of videos showcasing ninja once more in all his glory. So, maybe I'll improve his gear. He was originally just built in this build was to do Sand Devil 25. Now that I have the 5-star Brimstone, I might swap Newt back out and bring Ninja back in for that role. Or, I think it's not worth me running him in Hydra until I get Mikage, basically. So I'm not that fussed beyond that until I get Mikage. In terms of the 2x Sacreds last weekend with the Serpent Titan event, I summoned, I think it was 8 Sacreds. I didn't really get anything, I don't think. I have to double check. Nothing of interest anyway. If I did get a legendary, which I might have, I can't remember who it was. So that tells you a lot in terms of levels of excitement. I have been carrying on with my tracker. We've only got the rest of today and tomorrow to fill in, and then I'll do a video about that. I know people regularly are interested how I acquire all my resources. So we've got a full 4 weeks of stats in terms of every shard, book, and major soulstone that I've acquired. I didn't want to go into any more detail than that. It would just be too much work to do. And then in this particular video, we're going to really focus on, where is it? Champion Chase Tournament. It's appealing in that you've got the 6-star Ninja Soul, and then there's also a lot of different breakpoints that you might want to go up to, and partly that's going to depend on whether you're going for the Mithrala Soul or not, in terms of what you do. I am going for the 5-star Mithrala Soul, and I do need some points from this event. And I think looking ahead at what's dropping, we've got a Dungeon Divers that has now dropped, which I really wanted to see visibility on this. They've put quite a lot of points actually in this. They've put more than I was expecting. So that's interesting. I was anticipating about 90 points in the Dungeon Divers, but they've actually put 150. But maybe the artifact enhancement will have less than the previous one did. It might only have a 1 block. So I think it'll be quite easy to pick up the 30 here. I'm not massively keen on doing the second row, though. I don't really want to be doing our Dungeon Divers, and it's only a 2-day event. Oh, that's kind of mean. 4,000 points in 2 days. This is a really harsh Dungeon Divers. And I'd say that kind of really solidifies my perspective. I was going to go and get the 150 here, or the 200 in total anyway, to give myself an easier end to the schedule, mostly because I want to do some Minotaur, and I want to be in a good position to farm Shogun Grove, potentially Sand Devil, more Minotaur, and Spider during PRCBC, because I've now made it to the last hurdle on getting Marius, and I'd like to obviously get and book Marius during the PRCBC that's upcoming on Tuesday, which means on day 1 CVC I really want to hit this 10 mythical accessories. So it might take me quite a few gems, but at least it'll be a good time to do it. And potentially I might do some Spider during this Dungeon Divers ahead of there, and try and get some mythical pieces as well, just to reduce the amount of pressure on that one day. Right then, jumping back over, here are the real breakpoints. So if I just open back the Champion Chase on the side, 1150 is basically the first set of points, which we estimate is about 12 shards. Then the next breakpoint is the Legendary Tome, which is another 17 on top. Then the next set of points, the 150 at 4,200, another 12 shards on top, so 41 shards. So for me, this is probably the breakpoint that I'm going to head towards. The Legendary Tome with an extra 12 is very appealing. I think that's quite good value. My issue is I really need mythical tomes, not legendary. So I'm looking at, do I want to spend an extra 32 shards to get 1 mythical? And I'm on the fence on that. I think I'll go for the 4,200 and in this video, and I might consider over the rest of the weekend whether I want to push a bit further. I think for me, really, it's the 4,200, or I probably should be hitting the full 10,000. But it's a lot of extra shards at that point. That's an extra 56 shards. And if we potentially get a guaranteed soon, and we might have additional events like this in the future, it's a lot of shards to consume on this event. So yeah, a bit on the fence on that regard. Anyway, the first thing we've got is actually some belated summon pool. I did earn 2 of them, so let's find out what we got. There was a Jareg and a Jarang. No Teox for me, but that's 500 points in the bag straight away. And we're aiming for 4,200. So we'll just keep an eye on that. So we've got, 3,700 to go. So let's just jump in, do the first 10 pull, see how we're going to get on. What would I really be after? I mean, legendary aside, it would be nice to get more Shamils to be able to do empowerment. We do actually have a legendary, and it is a Raka. I mean, it's always nice to get a non-dupe legendary, and I guess with Orc's only restriction in Siege, she becomes really strong. she's not really like the SS tier of the Void legendaries, but a very good champion overall. You know, I can't really complain too much. I didn't actually pay attention to how many points that was. I think Void Legendary is 650 and an Epic's 350. And then the other 8 would be 50, in which case that should be 1400. Maybe we'll just jump in, hope that the points have updated. Yeah, so that was the other 48 I had for mysteries already, etc. So 1948. So we started very strongly. There are actually a couple of other interesting things. So with Siege, I'm actually quite tempted to pull my second Ancora that I have through the fragments. I think she becomes strong in Siege. Elhain now becomes quite interesting in Siege as well. Less so the rest of them. Maybe Ugear actually as well is quite an interesting one for Siege related restrictions. So pulling some more of my fragment champions. The only one that isn't, these are both CBC ones because they're non-dupes, but Ancora is a dupe. So actually pulling Ancora in a champion chase is actually a good time to do it. So I definitely will prioritize doing that at some point. In any case, let's do another 10 pull and see what we're going to get. A few more rares. Only hit 1 epic so far, which is pretty low on the pull rate, but we did get lucky with that gold. Lucky or unlucky, depending on what your perspective is. We got 800, just the solitary epic. We have, obviously, I say unlucky depending on your perspective, because we've reset our mercy counter on Void, so we couldn't be trying to time it with a really nice progressive, which still does kind of work. I mean, is this 2x on? This is ridiculous. We got another solitary epic. So what we are 30 shards in, and we're at 3,500 points. Obviously reduced slightly by the fact that we got what do you call it? We got the 500 from the prisms. I do have 2 remnant summons as well, and I've been like obscenely lucky with them. So I'm kind of tempted just to pull those. Like, why not? We get 250 from a Drake and another epic. So not so much luck this time, and that puts me at 4,000. So basically, I just kind of need really very little. So we'll just summon 1 epic would be more than enough. A rare will get us close, and probably 1 more, and then I'll probably finish it with mysteries if we just get a rare, I think, because that should put me at 4148, and obviously I need 52 shards, which would be 1 void rare or a bunch of mystery shards. I think it's enough for the video. We did hit gold. Let me just collect all this. So we've got 1 legendary tome and 1 epic tome. So we'll jump back over here. We'll go to the tracker. It's guaranteed tournament rewards because they're side rewards. What did I say? We got an epic tome and a legendary tome. There it is. And so we got the tracking done. It'd be quite nice to do the 4,200 actually whilst we're on the video, just because then we can actually get the rewards here. An extra 150 is going to be what, 1370. It'll only pick us up the primal. Yeah, I'll do that off video. I don't think I need to bore you guys on that. One other thing, I have actually been saving these souls. I have not collected them throughout. When CVC drops, I will collect them all, and at least I'll get some CVC points for it. I had been waiting to see if we got a soul chase. We didn't. We got a soul summoning rather than soul chase during the deck of fate, which meant that I wasn't going to get additional rewards for holding back claiming the Mithrala split souls, but it should work, I believe, during CVC. So we'll keep all of these back. What is my Mithrala right now? I believe she's awakened, 3-star. So 3 is okay, but 5 is a lot better. A lot more stats, and it's just it's a better place to be in. And then obviously the only new champion is none other than Raka. Oh, could have been Warlord, could have been Supreme Gallic, but it wasn't. But yeah, like Raka is a good champion. You know, you've got the AoE revive. It's a little bit low on turn meter to be really strong, particularly given, you know, you've got no way of protecting these champions. It's problematic in that regard, but at least they end up with block debuffs, so that's quite strong. And you can use it as block debuffs when there's no dead allies. Do get a little TM fill, and you obviously get the increased attack and shield. Shield is a bit of a problematic one in itself, and I don't love the fact that the increased attack and the block debuffs are on separate abilities. But like, she's a good champion. I think these are quite generous ratings, to be honest. You know, she's solid. I'll obviously rank her up to 6-star. Another valuable support, and like I said, particularly in siege mode, I can see her being pretty good when you've got restrictions. In the Galen pack, she's probably the best support I actually have, I would say. Maybe Pythian is another candidate for that, but I'm not blessed with supports in Galen Pact. So yeah, Raka and Pythian being the two best. Obviously, if I've got an attack-based team, Raka wins out. And I do have some good attack-based champions in the Skinwalkers, people like Sun Wukong and wherever he's hiding, Fioris. You could also say Uko's decent. But yeah, I don't know. Orc only is probably where she shines, but I don't really have anyone else who, you know, I think if you had Raka, Warlord, and Garol, then you've got like the makings of a pretty damn strong Orc only team. Maybe Nogdar being another little interesting option. I do have Nogdar, but I think my concern, if you don't have Warlord and doing Orc only, is that it's really all about Warlord. Like, that's how you're going to win it. No one else is really going to make the difference, because if you did a defense with Orc only and you didn't have Warlord, you'd be screwed, basically. Right, that's going to be it for this video. I do want to do that review of the tracker, and if you really want me to weave in the previous summons, let me know, and I'll try and weave that into another video at some point, but I don't think it's massively interesting. Maybe I'll do a video talking about my thoughts on siege mode. That's it, really. There's not much going on. The game's a bit stale, let's be honest. I know we just got new content in Siege, but it didn't feel very, very new. Maybe it'll get better over time when people have more of these florins and mana orbs to make the map more customized and more interesting. But I don't know. I feel like the way they did Siege mode would have been better if it had been implemented a long time ago, essentially instead of tag team and before live arena. We just got too much of this very similar style of gameplay. Yeah, that's it. That's all for this video. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.